Dine out for the first time in the new tires, and it's pretty wet out. See how they do. Wow, what an improvement in traction. No slip whatsoever. Plenty of gear for it. Also, we haven't heard any rubbing yet, which is kind of surprising because they're huge. I'm gonna run up the grill real quick and then we'll come back and jump it. It's warmed up. It's geared so low. Stock tires and gear. I could probably back it. Exhaust is under right now. Alright. Let's back her under, get the diff seat, but not put this hose under, because I want to check that first. Alright, so now everything's under, the relays are wet, four-wheel drive light will start flashing any second now. Pretty good. It's idling very deep. The exhaust is probably, I don't know, 2 feet under. Idling well. Did I snorkel it? So we did have a little bit of water in there, so we do have a leak to troubleshoot. Wasn't terrible, but something's leaking. So I do have the air bladder on here. I got a PVC cap in it, so it's sealed up pretty good. I don't think it's that. It's probably the airbox lid. Let's pull this airbox cover off and see what's going on. See a little bit of water in there, but all the boots are under except for this boot, and I don't really see any water coming in right now, so I've got to assume it's just the lid. Interesting. And we didn't fill up the air box, so let's go ahead and check it. Nice and clean. Very good, very good. Check your oil a lot while you're water riding, guys. I'm talking a lot, like 4 or 5 times a ride you should be checking your oil. Second gear. I'm gonna come out this way. Kind of side hilling it, if you will. Can't quite go up that ledge for 2-wheel drive with these little stock tires. Electric shift's working well though. As I call it, electric shit. Earlier, no problem. A little more weight back here. There it goes. Woo! You get the front tires off the ground, all the weight goes rearward. I'm going to focus on me and the back tires.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta rinse her off, you know? I can see the minnows in my headlight beams.
Excellent.
Third gear. Pretty outstanding. Dude, I almost had it too.
Yeah.
Rinse it off again. Throttle control. Excellent. All right, moment of truth. Did we get water in the brakes? I'm gonna say yes, if I had to guess, but I need a 10 millimeter, not an 8 millimeter. All right, take two. Did we get water in the rear brakes? With a 10 millimeter this time. Oh my goodness. No way. That is amazing. I would have bet a large sum of money that we were gonna have water dump out of there. Make sure it's not clogged. Wow. These brakes are still totally sealed. All right, let's check the rear diff now. Gotta get a drain pan though, because I know it had some nasty oil in it before that I wanted to change. So I'm thinking what's going on is just the pinion seal on the rear diff is leaking, but everything else is good. So here's a clue. You see the water dripping out of that tube right there? That means that this tube is full of water, which means that that seal and that bearing are probably going out. So you need to change those. Quite a lot of water dripped out of that tube. But let's see what's in this rear diff. I expect it to be nasty. You gotta scrape it out over here to get to the drain bolt. It's always a good sign. Took the skid plate off just to see a better idea what was going on there because it was pretty bad. All right, let's see what we got in this rear differential. By the way, it's not a differential. I don't know why I'm calling it that. It's just a rear gearbox because there's no differential in this thing. The axle passes straight through it. Just like most ATVs, there is no rear differential. Ooh! As expected, that is some muddy water. And it smells bad. There's a little bit of gear oil in there. Alright, so the brakes are sealed, which is abnormal, but the diff is full of nasty. So I'll probably be putting a differential on this thing at some point. Definitely going to flush it a few times, put a new pinion seal and a new axle seal, maybe a new axle bearing. But this side is waterproof somehow, which is pretty crazy. Eventually what I'm going to do, like I do with most solid axle machines, is fill this with grease, fill this tube with grease, and fill that tube with grease, and delete the brakes. But the brakes are sealed and they're working now, so we're going to leave them alone for the time being. Ooh, that is very nasty. Very nasty.